Hi, hi, I'm Peter J. Ray. Welcome to Adventures in History. Today's topic is Dearest Mother and Dad. Love Ruth, John, Mark, and Pamela. Ruth Smallshaw Ray's Letters to Her Parents. 1955, Part 93. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, May 25th, 1955. Dear Mother and Dad, you certainly should have seen John's face when he read your letter and got your birthday gift. He was really pleased. May 29th. His birthday was May 19th, so your remembrance was unexpected, and he didn't get any cigars, so he anticipated buying some. He did need a new watch band, and so got one from you, and I hope will buy a new wallet too. We've been on such a merry-go-round that I'm not sure when I last wrote, but I just know that you're wondering why you haven't heard from us. It's just been something going on all the time, and when I do start to write, John chases me off to bed as I have been very tired. We did have a very good time at the Junior Chamber of Commerce convention. We drove the children to Sandusky and completely relaxed, knowing that their grandma would take wonderful care of them. Pamela was on penicillin for her cough and high temperature that came on in the night. By the time we got back, she was fine. Mark had a good time, and the folks got Pamela some dresses and Mark a baseball bat and both bibs. When we arrived home, they were just fine. We went to a fish fry and several luncheons and a big dance, and there was just lots going on all the time. 15 fellows went from Cleveland, and I was the only wife. It was a good little vacation. Carol had a baby girl, May 25th, 7 pounds, 14 ounces at 5:49 a.m. I guess she'll be taking the baby home today. She went to the hospital at 11 o'clock p.m., so not too long nor too bad. David was a little disappointed. He wanted a boy so badly. I've mentioned Mary and Vince. They have 2 girls and had a baby boy last weekend. Friday night at the Junior Chamber Wives' Night, I got several congratulations on expecting our 3rd child. It was news to us. Tuesday, I went to the throat doctor. A girl from my bridge club, Natalie, drove Mark, Pamela, and me and watched the children for me. It was almost a 2-hour deal and very warm, but the children were good. He told me not to use detergents, not to drink milk or acid fruit juices, spices, or relishes, no hot drinks, etc., etc., and had 4 blood tests taken and put me on iron and vitamin C. I have to go back Tuesday, and another bridge club gal, Denise, is taking us. He also says my nose is off balance, not filtering the air on one side. After getting home from the doctor Tuesday, I had to feed and bathe the children and myself, straighten up the house, and bake a pie crust. I was captain of the cerebral palsy drive for our street and had 7 workers. 1 girl went to the hospital and I had to get a replacement. We had a thunderstorm and they kept calling to see if we were to go ahead. We got over $76 for our street, so quite good. They were still bringing money in when the meeting met here about our booth. I guess I told you I am chairman of decorating the Bay Village Junior Women's booth at the Fairview Hospital Fair. We decided on a gay 90s theme. I had cookies, cakes, and lemonade and ginger ale for the girls. Then by 10 o'clock a.m. Wednesday, I had to have a chocolate pie ready for the church smorgasbord. I had a marshmallow meringue for it, and it looked good. Thursday, I had to have the children fed and Pamela asleep by 11:30 so I could go to the junior women's luncheon at the Elyria Country Club. It was very nice, and I was introduced as being on the board. They had a hat style show, and the chorus sang. Friday, I had 6 loads of laundry, and that evening met John downtown as it was Wives' Night at the Junior Chamber of Commerce. John got an award for his art show and was elected to the board as a trustee. They had a good program. Saturday we had Mark's haircut, a blood test for me, and last night we had 2 tables of bridge, a very nice party. I bid and made 2 slams, and I was second, John third. This coming week I have bridge Tuesday, a board meeting Wednesday, and Friday night we're starting to paint things for the booth. John has a meeting Thursday, and Saturday is the wedding. They're just having a small one, and Joan's folks gave her the money instead. John had a cold, and all 3 of us got it. Last night we awoke about 4:30, and Mark was just coughing continuously, so we gave him the routine and put him by the steamer. He slept until 12:30 today, poor little guy. I didn't agree with Norma's letter. There have been mistakes in the polio vaccine, apparently, but what would we do without our diphtheria, smallpox, and whooping cough preventatives? They shouldn't have been given to young children. Dr. Nitch told me when I asked for it for ours that she didn't think our children under 3 would get it, although she put us on the list if we could. It certainly will be nice for Mark to see his Grandma Smallshaw this summer. I did think from Dad's picture at the anniversary that he looked very bad. Mrs. Ray said so immediately. He really should have a complete physical. It is too bad that we are this far away that a visit is just too much driving or traveling, and so much money to fly. I hope that he gets a good rest in the sun. I'd like one myself. John's Aunt Helen asked us up to Glen Lake in northern Michigan, but I doubt if we can make it. Good for Bud. What will this do? Speed up the course? How are they standing the separation? Did you ever invite Doris's mother over? Is Doris alone? I must write to her. I had such a strange experience one afternoon. I lay down on the bed for a rest, and it seemed as if immediately I was far away in a gray stone room. It was so quiet, and I was surrounded by nuns and girls all dressed in white. It seemed as if it was a funeral, but very quiet and simple, and then I was in a garden all white like snow, but not cold. Suddenly I had to come back, and I was hurtling through time and space to get back. I felt so strange, as if it had really happened, although it was probably just a dream. Very unusual, though. Mark really says the things. I had my hair up one day when he awoke from his nap. He looked, then looked away and said, "You'd better change your hair." I took out the bobby pins. "You'd better comb it now," he said. So critical at 2.5 years old. What will he be like at 20? One morning I said, "Who has dirty pants, Pamela?" "It's not you, Mark." Mark said, "It's not me either. I just flatulated." I didn't even know the word. His father's teaching. I was stunned for a moment. 2.5 years old. Now when I scold him, he says, "I won't play with you," or "I'll tell my daddy on you," or "Go play with your own papers." I suspect he's heard the children say, "Go peddle your own papers." Often he says, "Now, Red, stop it." You'd just die laughing to hear John's version of the 3 Bears. He told it to Mark in about 60 seconds. Excerpt. "So this little blonde eats all the soup. Then she goes up to bed and falls fast asleep because she's tired from running around in the woods all day. So the old man bear comes home and says, 'What's going on around here? Who ate all my soup?' I must say good night, and I'll try to write sooner. Pamela got her other top tooth and is much happier, although she's still a mama's girl and would rather me hold her than anything. Funny, 'cause Mark wasn't like that. Thursday she made strange to the babysitter and wept. Take care of yourselves and Daddy. Hi to Doris and Bud. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. 602 Huntmere Drive, Bay Village, Ohio, June 13th, 1955. Our address in Michigan, care of Mrs. John Lacey, Glen Lake, Empire, Michigan. Dear Mother and Dad, Hi. Well, we've just completed another very big week. Last Monday night, John was elected first vice president of the Cleveland Junior Chamber of Commerce. And Saturday night, he was awarded the Ford Award for being the outstanding trustee. You'd have been very proud to hear all the nice things they said in the speech presenting it, that the judges were unanimous in their decision, that he revitalized everything he participated in, and so on. With that big bronze plaque was a $25 prize, a bowling ball and bag. They'd called me for suggestions on a gift, and that was what I thought he'd like. I kept the award secret, though. Good for me. He also got the Hen Award for getting the most new members, 17 new ones, a big bronze plaque, and a $50 war bond. Also got his vice president's pin. He really brought home the trophies. They had a big dinner and dance at the University Club Saturday night, and John bought me a new blue nylon dress for the occasion, and I also had my hair done at Portero's. The week before was a big day too, Dick and Joan's wedding. John was best man. He left at 8:30 a.m., and we had a full schedule that day too. I never realized how lucky I was that Daddy cooperated so well on our day. Her father limps and is self-conscious of it, so he did not give her away. No one did, and no guests were present other than the two sets of parents, and John and I were there. We even left the children outside with a sitter. It was a shame, for it was such a pretty wedding. They had a very nice dinner at Stouffer's in the afternoon. Joan and Dick went to the Pocono Mountains and get back tomorrow. There are two reasons that we're writing airmail. One, to warn you that the proofs of Mark's photographs should be arriving, and we'd like you to note the number of the proof that you like best. This way you'd get to see all the poses too. Then we'll send you one as a Mother's Day, Father's Day gift, and we'll get one for John's folks too. Then you can send the proofs back, as we can't get the pictures until we return the proofs. We went to Sandusky yesterday and saw baby Lisa, 2.5 weeks old and long black hair. We had a very good roast beef dinner and picnic supper in the evening. The folks gave Pamela a doll buggy for her birthday and 2 new dresses and 2 new bonnets that she needed. I suggested the buggy as I knew Mark would enjoy it. They got him a lawnmower. He calls it a wow wow buggy because he put his dog in it. He sure is a character. Anything you send Pamela is fine. Those shirts you sent Mark last year are his only ones, the one in the picture, and he's growing out of them, so anything like that would be nice. A cotton fleece, and Pamela can use little blouses like that too. Pamela is size 2 and Mark's size 4. Any kind of dress for Pamela. No dolls. I don't know when we'll celebrate her birthday, possibly Friday, since tonight we decided to go up to Glen Lake, Michigan on Sunday the 19th. We hadn't planned to take a vacation, but John suddenly thought he'd like to go. John's Aunt Helen Lacey has been up there alone since her husband died, and she has it rented June 25th on and through July. John's folks are going up in October, but John will be busy then as the courts open up after the summer and the Junior Chamber of Commerce activities begin. We could actually go now, but I have to stay here for this fair Saturday that I'm decorating the booth for. It's a 12-hour trip up, so will take us all Sunday, I expect. John had a hunch that you might decide to fly here next Sunday or next week, so wanted me to tell you to get off the plane at Sault Ste. Marie and take a very nice passenger freighter or boat down to Frankfort, Michigan. Glen Lake is near Empire, Michigan. On looking at the map, Sault Ste. Marie is further over, but when we drove from Regina after our honeymoon, we caught the boat at Mantistique Down and stopped at Glen Lake. It would be nice if you folks could do that, then drive back with us on the 25th. Oh well. Mark really enjoyed the picture of Grandma Smallshaw. So did I. The next day, John said, Oh, Mark, your mommy is going to be very unhappy with you. He had the picture all bent. He'd taken it to bed with him without us knowing. I straightened it out and thought it was sweet of him to take it to bed. Mark's such a character. Today our baby blue jays in the nest in the front tree were learning to fly. I heard the mother screeching and scolding and looked to see Mark with about a 4-foot-long branch banging away at the baby bird on the ground. Fortunately, he hadn't hit it, and I got him away before the mother attacked him. What a story he told John tonight. I bounced the birdie on the head. I bounced him with my big gun. I banged the sidewalk. I hit him on the head, and so on. We tried to explain that we don't hit birdies, and we've never mentioned the word gun, but he gets it from other children. Friday he called in at the door. I want some whiskey and ginger ale outside. I want some whiskey. He sure surprises us. John taught him, Mano Manischewitz. Poor Pamela got a very bad sunburn. I was just ashamed of myself, but she's okay now. They went to the doctor Saturday. She's 23 pounds and Mark's 35 pounds and 38 ounces. I must say good night. John asked if this was my life story. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. Lacey Woods Lodge, Glen Lake, Michigan, June 23rd, 1955. Dear Mom and Dad, how lovely it is up here, and how nice it is to see John and Mark in the woods together and out in the boat together in their plaid shirts from Canada that you sent. It was so nice to find your letter here in the mailbox, too. We came up earlier than we'd planned. On Thursday, the day of the dinner at the University Club, several of the gals that I was working with for our booth told me to go ahead and not hold up our vacation because of the fair Saturday. So at 4:00 p.m. we decided to leave the next morning, and what a rush. I had to go to the dinner at 5 o'clock until about midnight, and so ironed till about 2 a.m. Had to cancel a dentist appointment, Pamela's photography appointment, Sunday school I was supposed to teach, and get a substitute to work in the booth Saturday night, and use our babysitter, cancel the newspaper and milk. What a complicated life we lead. But we got up here and have had such a nice time. Vonnie and Freddie and their baby David, 15 months old, John's cousins, and John's Aunt Helen were here. Helen still is, of course. Vonnie and Freddie are living in Colorado now. The children have had a fine time and have loved the water. You'd really enjoy this spot, too. We hadn't planned to take a vacation, but now that we feel that we needed it. We've seen many black squirrels and are looking for deer, but missed them so far. I caught a couple of fish last night, and John several, but threw them back. Pretty good size. Looking for bigger ones, big enough to make cleaning and cooking worthwhile. John enjoys just fishing. I just put some birch bark on the fire and it really roared. We're toasting marshmallows and now a game of Monopoly. John put Pamela to bed at 5:30, so expect she'll be up earlier tomorrow. They've been sleeping till 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. John's grandpa is in the hospital, so wondering how he is. We're looking forward to seeing you whenever you can come. You'll just love little Pamela. She's sure a live wire. I will send you her photo proof soon. I'm glad you liked Mark's. Good night and much love. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. Lacey Woods Lodge, Glen Lake, Michigan, June 24th, 1955. A postcard. Dear Mom and Dad, hi. This is certainly a beautiful spot and we're all having a fine time. I wish you could see Mark out fishing with his daddy, both wearing plaid shirts you sent from Canada. Even Pamela's enjoyed the water and sand. She just started crawling out into the lake just as though she could swim. I caught 2 fish last night. It was so grand to get your letter. Love, John, Ruth, Mark, and Pamela. To be continued. Well, that concludes today's presentation. Good luck to you with your efforts in family history. If this interests you, finding, preserving, and sharing old letters, diaries, photographs, family movies, and videos, and interviewing elderly relatives while they're alive. You might consider checking out our website, Adventures in History with Peter J. Ray at peterjray.com. So far, we've made 624, history videos in 7 areas: world history, American history, book reviews, poetic tours, Cleveland baseball, family history, and autobiography. There is a donate button. You might consider making a donation so we can continue making these videos. You also might consider checking out our podcast, Adventures in History. If you live in Metro Manila, Philippines, and are looking for a high school, you might consider Restless Educational Center, which is located in San Juan, Metro Manila. At Restless, we specialize in helping young people who have had difficulty in the larger traditional high schools, and the website is restless.education. RESALEST. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you next time.